The Thief's Story, Unit 1.2. This story is written by Ruskin Bond, an Englishman but born and brought up in India. He has written a number of books, especially for children. He still lives in Uttarakhand at the foothills of the Himalayas in Mussoorie. He is a very renowned writer all over the world. This particular story gives us a very strong message. It tells us that man is not born evil or bad by birth. It is man's choice whether he wants to become good or bad. The thief's story is about a thief, Hari Singh, and the good man that he comes across in his life, Anil. How Anil goes on to transform Hari Singh from a thief into a good individual is what this story is all about. So let's begin with the thief's story. I was still a thief when I met Anil, and though only 15, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. He was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind, and simple enough for my purpose. I hadn't had much luck of late and thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence. So we are told that Hari is just 15 years old and he's a thief, a robber. And he's successful at hand. That means he's a very smart thief, a very clever robber. And now he's thinking whom should he rob. And one day he comes across Anil, who is around 25 years old, a tall man but a lean person, lean, quite thin. A person who seemed to be very kind, very simple when Hari saw him. And during that time, Anil was watching a wrestling match. And Hari goes on to approach him to think about now how he is going to rob this person. So he feels he's a very easygoing person, someone who will get bullied very soon. So his next target is Anil. You look a bit of a wrestler yourself, I said. A little flattery helps in making friends. So do you, he replied, which put me off for a moment because at that time I was rather thin. Well, I said modestly, I do wrestle a bit. What's your name? Hari Singh, I lied. I took a new name every month that kept me ahead of the police and my former employers. So now Hari wanted to become friendly with Anil. So he just flattered him just to tell a lie, which a sort of a praise, which is not actually a praise. So he told him, he told Anil that you look like a wrestler. Anil understood that this man is just poking fun at him. And he said, even Hari looks like a wrestler. So finally, they exchanged the name. They understood who they were. Hari told, when Anil asked him what is his name, this man told his name is Hari Singh. But you come to know that Hari Singh is not his real name. Reason, this man kept on changing his names because he did not want to land up in the police hand. Neither did he want to land up in any of his former employers, that is, previously where he worked. So each time he took a new name so that he could escape from any kind of punishment, because after robbing he would run away. After this introduction, Anil talked about the well oiled wrestlers who were grunting, lifting, and throwing each other about. I didn't have much to say. Anil walked away. I followed casually. Hello again, he said. I gave him my most appealing smile. I want to work for you, I said, but I can't pay you. I thought that over for a minute. Perhaps I had misjudged my man. So, although Anil was not much interested in talking with this thief Hari, still Hari went on going behind him. And finally, he told Anil that he wishes to work for him. Anil was a very simple, straightforward man, and he told Hari that even if he wanted to work, Anil couldn't pay him because he was not that a rich man. And at that moment, Hari thought probably he had misjudged Anil. Probably he had got him wrong. Maybe this was not the right man to rob because he's already saying that he doesn't have much money. Okay, now on this page, let us mark the textual grammar. Look at your very first sentence on the top. I was still a thief when I met Anil. My question is, pick out the clause and state its kind. So the answer is, I was still a thief, main clause. When I met Anil, subordinate adverb clause of time. Next one, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. Add a question tag. Your answer will be, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand, comma, wasn't I, and a question mark. Alright. Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. My question is, pick out the conjunction and state its kind. Your answer is when. It's a subordinating conjunction. Next, you come down to the next line. You have the word kind. Noun form will be kindness. Simple. Noun form will be simplicity. And if I ask you what is simple, then what part of speech? Answer is adjective. Next, you come down a little bit. You have the word young. Give me the noun form youth. In that same paragraph, last word you have confidence. Give me the verb form. Answer is confide. CONFID. Now, how did I get all these parts of speech? I hope you haven't forgotten your grammar. Remember that when a particular word is given and you have to transform it into a noun, remember to add the article the before the word. So, like I asked you about kind, so it will be the kindness. That will help you to understand the noun. Similarly, if you have to change it into an adjective, then you will add before the word to be. To be young, to be simple, to be kind. These are adjectives. When you have to change it into a verb, you will add the preposition to, to before the word. So to confide. So confidence got converted into an verb by adding the preposition to. So to confide. Let's continue then. You have over there the word friends in the next paragraph, the two lines which you have. Change it into a verb. Answer is befriend. 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 If I have to change that into an adjective, it will be friendly. To be friendly. Alright, let's continue. I was rather thin. Change that into a negative sentence. So remember, negative sentence meaning you should have no, not, or never. So I was rather thin. Your answer will be I was rather not fat. So you have added not and changed that thin into fat, but at the same time you are not changing the meaning. So in other words, you're still saying you are thin. So answer is I was rather not fat. That is your negative sentence. Alright, let's continue. You have a little lower down. I took a new name. Change the voice. A new name was taken by me. So I took a new name is in the active voice. You changed it into passive. A new name was taken by me. Remember in the passive, you must have the preposition by. Alright. Come a little lower down. You have the word introduction. That's a noun. Change it to a verb form. So answer will be introduce. How did I get it? Because I added the preposition to in my mind. So to introduce. So introduce becomes your verb. Next you have Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers. Rewrite in the interrogative form. Answer will be didn't Anil talk about the well-oiled wrestlers and a question mark. Now how did I get the answer? For an interrogative sentence, first find out which is your verb. So, verb over here is talked. Talked is in which tense? Past tense. Since it's in the past tense and we do not have any helping verb or an auxiliary verb out here, therefore, the past tense auxiliary verb is did. Alright? And since my sentence is in the positive, my interrogative will change into negative. So answer will be didn't Anil talk about the well-oiled wrestlers and a question mark. Remember one thing, you forget to put a question mark, you will get the answer wrong. So in question tag or in interrogative, a question mark is a must. So remember that. Alright. Let's continue now. Come a little lower down. Appealing meaning pleasing smile, okay? Something very a happy kind of a smile. Alright. You have the word over there gave. In the present form, it becomes give. Change that into a noun. So, noun will be gift. Gift. Alright. If my sentence is that same sentence, I gave him my most appealing smile. This is in the past tense. If you see, it's in the simple past tense. Change it into past perfect tense. So my answer will be I had given him my most appealing smile. Remember, in the past perfect tense, there is just one auxiliary verb which you use, and that is had. So I had given him my most appealing smile. Okay. Come a little lower down. You have the word thought. 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 Give me the verb form of thought. Answer is think. Think. And thought is a noun here. Think will be your verb. Alright? Okay. And finally, I had misjudged my man. I had misjudged my man. My question is add a question tag. So my answer is I had misjudged my man. Hadn't I? Because over here the helping verb or the auxiliary verb is had. Therefore, you will use the same word. And since the sentence is in the positive, question tag changes to negatives. So, I had misjudged my man, comma, hadn't I, and a question mark. So, with this class, we will end this much of your chapter. The next time when I meet, I continue again. This is how explanation will be done. So, the entire textual grammar is also being done. I hope you have followed it. Revise it once again. So, have a great day, class. Goodbye. God bless.